Konnichiwa, hello and welcome. This is Roy at Ninjazilla90, and today I will be reviewing the S.H.MonsterArts Godzilla 1954, the original release, or at least the reissue. And needless to say, the quality on this one is a lot better than the 70th anniversary special version. So I will be covering that today and demonstrating to you guys why the quality control with S.H.MonsterArts and S.H. Figuarts in general have been going downhill, and why I'm not collecting them anymore, and why I think this was one of the better ones. So with that said, let's get things started. And now here we have the S.H.MonsterArts Godzilla 1954 original version right here before us in all of his OG Goji glory. As you can see, this is the original black and white version of the 1954 Godzilla. This is very sharply detailed, very sharply sculpted, top tier articulation. This is obviously one of the better ones, although I did have to loosen up some of the joints out of the box with hitting it with some heat with a hair dryer and applying some dish soap to those ball joints and the ball joint sockets, especially in the legs and in the arms and in the feet. But it all worked out well in the end, and yeah, overall I would have to say this is a pretty good solid figure. Like I said, it's definitely one of the better ones in comparison to the 1954 special version. And I'm going to demonstrate this before I even go over these figures. Well, over this one anyway, so you guys can get a first-hand look at why I personally, and this is not the only figure that I could prove this with, why I feel that S.H.MonsterArts, BanDai Namco, and Tamashii Nations, premium Bandai and all of that, have been cutting corners when it comes to quality. This is the 70th anniversary special version. Watch this. Watch this. See this one? I can pull up on the head all day and apply pressure to the neck, to the upper neck like this. That head isn't going anywhere. Watch when I do the same thing to the 70th anniversary special version. See that? That's why. Head came off like nothing. This one, as I'm about to show you, the 54, the original 54, gonna do the same thing. Watch again. Applying the same amount of pressure, and I'm even pulling up, straining my muscles. Not going anywhere. Now you see why the quality has been going downhill. I just wanted to show you guys that real quick, demonstrate that they have been cutting corners when it comes to quality control. That's what I wanted to put out there. And the head on the 1954 70th anniversary special version, yeah, that head was coming off out of the box. I literally had to apply multiple layers of clear nail polish and just to get it to stay on properly, because that head was just falling clean off every time I would turn it upside down, and it's still loose, but not on this one. But anyway, going over the detail again, like I said, this is the original black and white version. These dorsal spines are a very vibrant, beautiful gray colorization, looking really nice, very sharp. Now, of course, this one does have some paint scraping but on the tips of the dorsal spines, but that's not quality control issues. That's because this one did take a shelf dive at one point. It was on way on the top of my shelf, like on the very top of the shelf where I have them all displayed. Yeah, it fell down, boom, pop. I thought it broke, but it didn't. So yeah, these are actually pretty durable, but I wouldn't manhandle them either. But yeah, I'm lucky nothing broke, and you know, those little paint chippings really don't bother me. But overall, really like this one. I appreciate them. As you can see, we have those very fearsome, menacing looking original Godzilla eyes, like he's gazing down, about to burn down Tokyo. We have those little bitty tiny Godzilla ears on the sides of his head. We can see his very sharp looking bone-like teeth inside his mouth, as well as the finer details inside of his mouth, all painted black and white, of course. And of course, going over articulation, like I just demonstrated, the jaw can open and close on a ball joint. The head can look down about that much. We can look up about that much. We can look right about that much. We can look left about that much, not too much. We can look even further down if we've been at the waist, and we can bring him back up. The shoulders are on ball joints, so we can rotate those shoulders all the way around a full 360, like so. Now, I did have to heat it up and pop them off out of the box and apply dish soap and pop them back on, but they stay on pretty well. We do also have a double hinge joint at the elbow as well. Same is true with the other arm, as you are seeing. Although, let me see. This one looks like it has like a deeper bend than the other one. Does it? I don't know. I think they're both about the same. But I should know because I've been having this figure for the longest, and we do sort of have a bicep swivel, but it's hindered by the sculpt, so I'm not gonna even attempt to swivel it all the way around. But we can swivel those wrists all the way around a full 360 because they are on a ball joint, so I don't mind swiveling the hands and rocking them back and forth for some claw swiping action. We also have a ball joint in the hips, so we can rotate those hips all the way around a full 360 like so. We have a double joint hinge in the knee, as you can see. Same is true with the other side. And we have a ball joint in the ankle, so we can swivel those feet all the way around a full 360. Let me hold the sleeve piece so I can demonstrate that so you guys can see. Same is true with the other side. And also, to make sure, and I never mentioned this in my videos, to make sure these figures are legitimate, always look at the bottom of the feet. If it says Toho Company and you have a serial number and it says it's made in China, yeah, then you have a legitimate product, because that's not something you're going to find on a bootleg. And also, the tail is well segmented as well, so we can move the tail that far this way. We can move it about this far the other way. We can bring it up about that much. We can sort of put them in a semi Godzilla versus the Smog Monster pose, because you know I always do that sort of thing here. So we can kind of put them there, but better yet, we could actually put this one in a real good swimming pose, something that you don't see the 1954 Godzilla do too much, because that was never shown off in the original movie. But we can do that. And this figure, despite the quality control going downhill with S.H.MonsterArts because they've been cutting way too many corners, this figure actually holds together very well. Hardly anything pops apart on this one. I can move it all I want like this. I can play with the tail all day like this. I can rotate the legs all day. I can move the arms like so. I can do this and that and all that good stuff. And this figure holds together. That's something that is hard to believe with S.H.MonsterArts by this point. Unlike this one, which if I try to move the head up like that, yeah, that's a problem. Although it is better than what it was before, the quality with this one is definitely a lot lesser than what it is on this one. Yeah. Although this one does come with more accessories, I overall have, if I do a re-review, I'm overall going to have to give this one a lower score. Although, this does look really cool with the colorized paint apps. It's nowhere near on the level of good quality as this one. As far as the figure holding up and not popping apart, because like I've demonstrated, I can do that same thing with the head on this one all day, as you can see, and I'm applying pressure and pulling up with all my might, and it's still staying on. I'm not trying to break it, I'm just demonstrating how much stronger the joint tolerance is on these figures. But anyway, enough with me running my mouth. It is now time for me to get into my final verdict and giving you guys my final thoughts and opinions and giving this one a final score based on detail, articulation, and playability. So let's get to it. And now for my final verdict on the S.H.MonsterArts Godzilla 1954 here, from the original 1954 movie entitled Godzilla. If I have to give this figure a final score based on detail, articulation, and playability, I have to give this figure a well-deserved, solid, clear-cut, perfect score of 5 out of 5 stars. Why? Because in all honesty, this is definitely one of the better ones. Although I did, like I said, I did have to heat up, use a hairdryer to heat up the joints and pop off the hips and the arms at the shoulders and the feet, and apply some dish soap to the ball joints and the ball joint sockets to get them to move properly. But after that, I would have to say this figure is overall solid. I don't have to worry about anything breaking when I move the joints. I don't have to worry about anything falling apart or popping off. The detail is very movie accurate. It's very suit accurate. This is sculpted by the famous S.H.MonsterArts sculptor Yuji Sakai, which we all know. I personally feel that we are getting better value for our money. Well, you would be getting better value for your money out of this one if you just want a 1954 figure. If all you would have to do is just heat up the body and just pop with the hairdryer and pop up the arm joints, shoulder joints, and the feet, and then apply dish soap and pop them back on, because you're getting better for your money than what you're going to be getting with this one. This one, I would say, aesthetic wise, yeah, you're getting I would say this one looks a lot cooler than this one, but as far as the figure holding up, not so much. They've definitely been cutting corners, but you are getting more accessories with this one, and interchangeable hands and 2 little bitty mini planes, plus a 70th anniversary plaque to display them on, which I don't display this one on anyway. And yeah, this one does have its plethora of, like I said, might I show you again, quality control, quote-unquote, issues. Yeah, and this is not the only S.H.MonsterArts figure that I can show you as quality control issues. Even my S.H. Figuarts Trunks Boy from the future, aka Future Trunks, has quality control issues, and I think that I might give that one a perfect 5 out of 5 star score, which I probably shouldn't have gave it. Along with my Godzilla Evolved from S.H.MonsterArts, which I probably shouldn't have gave a 5 out of 5 star score, but I'm definitely being a lot more stricter on Monster Arts from this point on, as most of you know, because yeah, they've definitely been cutting corners in their quality control department, and yeah, I really want to demonstrate that, because I don't want anybody spending buku money on these like I have, and then realizing after the fact that yeah, that they clearly aren't worth the value for the price anymore. I would say this one is, but still in all, with the tight joints out of the box, we shouldn't be having to use hair dryers and apply dish soap and everything to these figures just to get the joints to move without breaking them either. So I mean, that's another negative, and I feel bad for people that don't know that and just buy these and think, oh, we could just move them like we want right out of the box, and then all of a sudden snap. Yeah, not good. But anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this video, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you do want to help out this channel, definitely like and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, love you all. God bless, stay safe, and peace out.